Okay, so from here, you're already in the trade. You got your stop loss set. You're trading the New York session, and you're like, okay, what now? How do I hold my trade? So what I like to do is basically if prices continuing to make lower lows when I'm in a sell or higher highs if I'm in a buy, that's all I want to consistently see. You don't need too much. I just wanted to go over this to tell you you don't need too much just to hold your trade. Most of the time, I will never take out my trade no matter what until it hits an area of where I want it to hit. Most likely will be the next support and resistance. Price moves zone to zone, so I don't really have to worry about price not getting there because if we are making lows, if price is selling, it's gonna retest the previous low. And if price is buying, then it's gonna retest the previous high. So with that being said, um my TP will always be set to the previous low, or I'll be looking for since we made a high already, this would be buying. Honestly, this would be buying. So you would have to test somewhere in this area where price made a high and then broke above that high. So this was a resistance area once. So we'll be aiming for this. But how to hold the trade is what I really want to go over. So most people they'll start seeing price go up. I know after this it kind of went up from just a bit. Some part on here it went up. I want to go over that. All right, so right here, you can see how price did come up, and you would have thought this was a reversal. But I want to tell you something about time frames. These time frames are pretty serious. So when you enter off one time frame, you may see one thing. So like you can see this huge downtrend on the 1 minute time frame. You can see it on the 5 minute time frame, and then you see this over here, which look like it's going up. But you skip the 15-minute time frame where you can see here price is still making lower lows. Let's just go. I think this was the 1 hour, to be honest. Yeah, this was the 1 hour. So the 1 hour finished making a low. So all of this that you seen on the 5 minute and everything, all compacted inside of this 1 hour time frame, just to give you that clear idea. So it showed you that price made a high, made a low, failed to make a high. So when you seen this uptrend, all you had to do was flick to the 1 hour or any higher time frame than the time frame you're looking at, because if you see an uptrend on one time frame, I'm pretty sure on the next time frame it is a pullback for that one. So that uptrend on that time frame that you seen, the 5 minute, this was that uptrend just for price to make that lower high and continue down from there. So always check your time frames to make sure, okay, if price breaks over on this time frame, which is the higher one, you should be putting your stop loss above the higher one. Same concept with the stop loss. Just you should be like, okay, this is what it's going to do, just to give you a clear idea of what to be expecting. So I really want to go over the fact that most of the time on a 15-minute time frame, it will come back and test the previous high. So let's just give it it is. When price makes a new low, it'll come up and make a new high, make that new low. So now when that new low is made, that new high is coming back to test the previous low. I'm gonna show you what this looks like on the path. So price will make a low, come back up, break through, come back up and retest, and continue the same pattern. That's most likely what happens all the time. So I'm gonna explain why. Because when price makes higher highs and higher lows, or lower highs and lower lows, this is a mini support and resistance. So price is coming down to an area where buyers are pushing price up a little bit. It will push price up a little bit, but selling pressure is so heavy in this area and it pushes price right back down. And then price will break through that support, break down, make a new support, come back, test it as a resistance, and then come back down. Test it as a resistance, and then come back down. Test it as a resistance, and then come back down. Because it's just breaking through that support and testing it as a resistance. So you can kind of see it just like this. And from here, you will automatically know if price is continuing to make higher highs or higher lows, or lower highs and lower lows if you was to inverse it. So let me just go ahead and inverse it for you. So it'll look just like this on the same time frame. It'll look just like this. Higher highs being made, higher high creating a resistance, breaks out, makes a new resistance. So it's going to come back and test this as a support, breaks out, comes back and test it as support, breaks out, comes back, test it as support. So just to give you that clear indication of what you should be looking for. So if price was ever to make a higher high, that means it broke out of the resistance area and then continued higher. But then even if it breaks out of here, still look to see if it's going to make a high, because sometimes it can come right up to here and continue back down. So you always got to be on the lookout on what to look for. And I just basically showed you that sometimes on the 15-minute or higher time frames, it'll come back and test the previous high or previous low, mostly time previous low.